Another reason that we might have issues writing between VLANs in a router on a trunk configuration is that the trunk itself has one or both of those VLANs pruned. We can go into a trunk configuration and say that certain VLANs are just not permitted on that trunk. And pruning is a good idea. We can improve security, we can improve performance by forbidding traffic from unnecessary VLANs. Where we get into an issue is where we prune off necessary VLANs. How do we see what, if any, VLANs are pruned off of a trunk, what VLANs are allowed on a trunk, in other words? And if a necessary VLAN is not allowed, how do we fix that? How do we add it back? Well, let me take you out to the live interface right now and let's take a look. Here on switch SW1, let's see, I've got one trunk. It's on gigabit 1/0/24. Let's see what VLANs are permitted on that trunk right now. I'm going to do a show. Let's do a show interfaces trunk. I see something that's concerning. Look at this. It says for gigabit 1/0/24, we don't have any VLANs that are allowed on this trunk. That's an issue. We want to allow VLANs in our configuration. We want to allow VLANs 100, 200, 300. How do we do that? Well, let's go into global configuration mode and into gigabit 1/0/24. And what we can do is say switch port trunk allowed. And we can say VLAN. And now we can give a series of VLANs separated by commas. I'm going to say 100, 200, 300. Great. Now let's once again issue that command show interfaces trunk. Much better. Now it says that VLANs 100, 200, 300, they are now allowed on this trunk. Fantastic. That's what we wanted. Something else that could cause us an issue is we're missing a VLAN. The VLAN is not configured on a switch. Maybe we've misconfigured it, we've named it, or we've numbered it as an incorrect number. Maybe a port is not assigned to that VLAN. You see on screen the command to go in and take a look at what VLANs we currently have. We can give the show VLAN brief command. And if a VLAN is not currently created, we can go into global configuration mode and say VLAN, give the number to indicate the VLAN ID, and then we go into interface configuration mode, and we could say, all right, you're going to belong to this VLAN. Let's go out to the live interface and do an example of that. Let's say that I want to have a VLAN of 400. Do I have it already? Let's see. Let's do a show VLAN brief command. Nope, I do not have a VLAN 400. Let's create that. Let's go into global configuration mode, and I'll simply say VLAN 400. And that is going to create VLAN 400 out of thin air. And context-sensitive help shows us that we could specify a name for that VLAN. I might say that it is the HR VLAN. Now if I do a show VLAN brief, I've got the HR VLAN. Fantastic. You'll notice, though, that we see a listing of what ports belong to what VLANs. I don't have any ports in VLAN 400 right now. How do I change that? Well, let's say that I want to put interface gigabit 1/0/11. Let's say we want to put that in VLAN 400. I could go into interface gigabit 1/0/11, and I would say switch port access VLAN 400. Let's confirm that it worked. Let's do a show VLAN brief. And now we have created VLAN 400 and we have populated it with one port, gigabit 1/0/11. That's how we can go in and make sure that the VLANs we think we have in our configuration really do exist, and we can also verify port membership in those VLANs.